welcome back from an ad break. We will continue with our exam guide. Don't forget, this is paper one. We're focusing on paper one. We just did the business studies structure for paper one. Now we're moving on to the type of questions. So these are the type of questions that you should expect in your exam. For section A, remember section A we said it's compulsory. Therefore, this means everyone is expected to answer section A. So in your section A, you'll have different type of short and objective questions using various assessment styles and covering the entire curriculum. Remember, this is your November exam, so it covers everything that you've done throughout the year. For example, you'll be having your multiple choice questions, choosing the missing words and matching the columns. Remember, matching column A and B, you'll have the answers there in your column B. So 2 marks will be allocated for each question. Don't forget, this is out of 30, and we said for multiple choice, it's out of 10. For choosing the missing words, it's also out of 10, and matching columns, it's 10 marks as well. So 2 marks will be allocated. However, there is only one correct answer in this question. You can't have A or B. You can't have 1 or 2. It does not work like that. So there's only one correct answer. Hence, we say these are objective questions. Only one correct answer. Please bear that in mind. It's very important. But I'll make an example as we move on. So, as mentioned, objective type questions. Don't forget that paper one consists of what? Business environments and business operations. I'll be emphasizing that so that you understand that paper one, it's business environments and business operations. So also in your section A, you will have business environment and business operations questions. So total marks, it's 30, and mostly it consists of level 1 and 2 in your Bloom's taxonomy. So this is your recalling type of questions. You just have to recall the questions. Right, and then when we move on to section B, there is direct or indirect type questions. So what do we mean by that? You'll have questions like identifying, you've got questions like quote. Don't forget that when you're quoting, you're taking the words word for word as is from the scenario, and then you don't change anything. You're not subtracting, you're not adding anything. So verbatim as is, and then you will state, you give, you motivate, you explain, you have to discuss. So mark allocation is very important. You have to look at the mark allocation to be able to answer properly. We are describing here, you distinguish, differentiate, evaluate, analyze, advise, suggest, or recommend. So this is what you are expected to do. So you have a lot of scenarios or source-based questions in this section. Hence, I spoke about quoting. So remember, when we've got scenarios, the question will be quote from the scenario above. So you have to know that. Answers should be in point form. Remember, in business studies, we write in bullet points. So full sentences or paragraph style as per requirement of each question. So we're writing in bullet points. However, it should be full sentences so that you can get full marks, because if you're going to give vague answers or limited sentences, then you will not get or be awarded the full marks that you're supposed to get. All right, so section B, you have to choose any 2 questions. I've mentioned that from either environment, operations, or miscellaneous. Don't forget, miscellaneous consists of both the business environment and the business operations. That will be your question 4. So you just have to choose any of the 2 questions here. So the mark allocation for these 2 questions of your choice, it's 40 each. So 40 times 2 questions, which gives us what? 80 marks for section B. I hope you can see that it means section B carries a lot of marks comparing to section A and section C. So you just have to do well in section B. Not that I'm saying you must not do well in section C. Right, and then the taxonomy levels, level 1 up to 6 in your section B. Don't forget in section A, which is level 1 or 2, or level 1 to 2. Right, so here we're moving from remembering or recalling, understanding, applying, analyzing, and evaluating. That is your section B. Right, remember when I said to you the business environment and operations has got topics. So these are the topics that you've done from the beginning of the year throughout the year actually. So now business environment consists of the following question. This is what you need to do in preparation for your exam. You need to now look at all your notes and then label them accordingly, according to their main topic, so that you know that this is paper one, and in paper one you've got business environment. So what are those topics that are covered in business environment? We've got the micro environment. Remember the components or the features, whereby we looked at your vision, your mission, the strategies, all those, they fall part of the macro environment. These are the components or features. And then we went to the market environment. The components or features of the market environment, we looked at suppliers, we look at competitors, we looked at opportunities, all those. They form part of market environment, which forms part of what? Of business environment. We're looking at the macro environment. Macro environment, think of these components. It's your political or physical rather. You're looking at your economical environment. We're looking at social environment. We're looking at the legal environment. All those, they fall part of what? Of the macro environment. So you go to your notes, you label them accordingly. Then you've got the interrelationships of micro, market, and macro environment. You still remember that topic? Yes. Then we're looking at the business sectors. Remember, we've got your primary, your secondary sector, and your tertiary sectors. These are your sectors. They fall part of what? Business environment, which is your paper one. And then there's also the contemporary socioeconomic issues. These are the issues that affect the businesses. How? Negatively. They don't affect the business positive. They affect the business negatively. Remember, here we've got crime, we've got poverty, we've got unemployment. And in this topic, we're looking at the meaning and the impact. And these are the negative impacts. So they fall part of what? Of your paper one under business environment. Right, now that we understand business environment, which is your question 2 and your question 5, and also it's going to be assessed in the miscellaneous, we're moving on to our next topic, which is the business operations. Under business operations, these are the topics that forms part of business operations. It's business functions and the activities of the business. With the business functions, we're looking at your general management, we're looking at financial function, we're looking at purchasing, remember all those, these and the activities of the business. It forms part of the business operations. And then we looked at the concept of quality. Remember, under quality, we did quality control, we did quality assurance. You still remember the difference between the two. We looked at the quality indicators as well. So all that information, it forms part of your paper one under business operations. So, and then we've got miscellaneous. Don't forget, miscellaneous consists of the 2 topics, so which is 20 marks each. So 20 marks will cover business environment, another 20 marks will cover business operations, to make up what? 40 marks. Remember, that's what we said, 40 marks. So the topics assessed in this question will not have been assessed in question 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So don't think there's going to be a repetition. There won't be a repetition of the questions. All right, and then now we're moving on to the last section, which is section C of your question. We are busy with the structure of your essay. Remember, we started with section A, we went on to section B. Now we are in section C, and section C, remember we said it consists of 2 essay questions. So you are required to answer any one of the 2. So these are longer essay type questions. There's lower, middle, and higher cognitive levels. And here we are assessing what? Insight. We want to see if you understand and you're able to interpret what? The theoretical knowledge in addition to the content. So here you actually have 4 bullets or 4 questions that you have to answer. We just want to assess the insight. All right, so like I said, you answer any one question from the 2. So business environment, business operation, and it's 40 marks. Right, so the taxonomy levels, it's from level 3 to level 6. So you are applying the knowledge, you are analyzing, you are going to evaluate, and then you create the knowledge here. That's what is going to be expected of you. So we're going to go on to a break again, and then when we come back, we're going to wrap up this section. I hope you understand better now and you are ready. I'll see you just now.